everyone, it's Melanie again. I am back. Remember to subscribe and make sure you put your comments in the comment section. This forum again is about entrepreneurs, and I've taken some time to I want to take some time, I should say, to really let people know, like, it is not easy being entrepreneur in any facet, right? It takes drive, determination, it takes planning, it takes money, it takes resources, it takes all those things. So this is what this forum is for. So I am sharing all of my highs and my lows in the creator space, as well as the entrepreneur. Those two run in tandem. So I'm willing to share my failures. I'm willing to be vulnerable, to share what worked and what didn't work, right? So today I am going to talk about another venture that I went on, and what happened. So let's say maybe 13 years ago. Time is flying. I'm telling you, this timeline is flying. But has it been that long? Almost. I think almost. So I wrote a book, and the book is called Atypical Journey. And so that right there was a play on words, right? And the reason why I decided to write Atypical Journey, it was a very critical time in my life where it was odd. I was at a low point in my life, and I have always wanted to write. I've always wanted I always wrote something, whether it was a poem, whether it was just passages, inserts. I've always been a writer. And so I'm gonna say this. It was not the best time for me to do this project, but I did it. And so I did research. I got with Create Space. I don't even think they have Create Space no more, but I was with Create Space, and they helped me to kind of like navigate through the writing piece, and they helped me navigate through the cover photo, and that was a journey. I had really got stuck. I saw this picture online, and it was a picture of a black woman, and she had all of this baggage, and on the baggage it had hurt, distrust, all this trauma basically that she had been going through, and she's been carrying all of this baggage, right? So, oh my God, I fell in love, because that to me depicted what my book was totally about. And so going back and forth with Create Space, they was like, Melanie, you can't use it because you can set yourself up to be sued, and blah, 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 blah. So I said, okay. And so I'm working with them, and I said, listen, I need a picture that depicts that. So they, we went back and forth. And finally, I was satisfied with the cover page that is on Atypical Journey. And just so you know, Atypical Journey is available on Amazon and most, online spaces. So, for books or literature. So, and it's atypical. So, is atypical the word together, and not then typical, right? Atypical again just means is a play on words, meaning not typical. Okay, so the process of me writing that book, like I said, I was in a very dark space. just going through some really, challenging things in life, and quite honestly, things that I had created, situations that I had created, myself, that I had to deal with. And so it was not the best time for me to write this book and to complete this project, but I did. And when I did, I felt like a new person. I cannot describe to you all the joy that came behind putting a piece of literature out there in the world. Even to this day, I'm really kind of like in awe, that I wrote, a piece of literature. Not that I just wrote it and not the processes, because I think that was all a great learning experience, but just the impact that this book will have on whoever reads it. Every time someone reads this book, it's so relatable, because you're going to say, in each chapter, I have 10 chapters, and it's not a very long book. I didn't feel the need that it needed to be a long book, but with each chapter, I promise you'll be able to say, I know her, or that is me, or that's my sister, or I know him, that is my brother, that is, my best friend, whatever. I promise you're going to, that will cross your mind. It just does. I promise you that. And so I wrote, the book, and I feel good about it. Like I said, to this day, I still feel good about it. To this day, I'm still able to do things with this book. Recently, I had a social worker and a therapist to review the book. Again, I'm able to do some things, with this piece, and I love it. I love it. This will be something that will outlast me. This is something that I gave my thoughts, to this world, and these are real thoughts. That these stories are based on 10 different women. A few stories are my own stories, right? And so I feel great that I'm able to, impact the world in that way. To let people know that there, at the end of your darkness, there is light. And I will always feel great about this project, being able to have people review it, being able to say, this book can help people. It's not a man-bashing book at all. I think this book is just a reality. It's just a reality of where we are in the situations that we find ourselves in. This book is really from a woman's perspective, and it's about the decisions that we make, right? And we all get trapped in, out of the 10 decisions that was made in this book, we all get trapped in probably several of them throughout our, lives, if we live long enough, and if we have enough life experiences. We get caught, life just happens, right? And so I'm just so grateful that I'm still able to this day, to this very day, to do different things with this piece of literature, right? And like I said, it'll be around to even when I'm dead and gone. This book will be around, and that's such a beautiful feeling, such a beautiful thing to know that I will still be impacting folks, right? The stories will be still impacting folks long after I'm gone, and that's a great feeling. So that story, and I'll tell you, and I'll tell you this. I don't want these videos to be long, so I'm definitely keeping track of the time. I'll tell you this. That book not only, allowed me to write what I needed to write, that book actually opened the door for me. That book actually, not, I don't say not open the door, that book actually knocked down some walls for me. Yeah. And I'm gonna share that with you on the next video. And you know, I just want you all to be able to kind of connect the dots, right? And so yeah, that book definitely brought down some walls for me. And quite honestly, there was some conversations to be had after that book was written. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that on the next video. So you guys stay tuned. Make sure, again, you leave comments in the comment section, and make sure that you subscribe, right? Again, this is a space that I have kind of re-submerged myself back into. This is a space for those who are entrepreneurs, and this is a space for those who are creators. And again, I believe that they are kind of like one in the same, to a certain degree. So until the next time, you guys take care and be safe out there.